Good morning, students. This is Mrs. Moss, and today we're doing Lesson 16 problem set. We are in Module 4 book. So I'm going to do number 1 with you. Let me zoom in. These are word problems, as you can see. It says, our objective says, solve word problems using tape diagrams and fraction by fraction multiplication. So put your name and date. So these directions say, solve and show your thinking with a tape diagram. Remember, the tape diagram is the rectangle that you split into the denominator and then shade it. So I'm going to do one with you, but I want to invite you to challenge yourself. So if you want, what you can do right now, try to get it so you can see the whole word problem. There. If you want, pause the video right now and you try to do number 1 all by yourself. And then when you're ready to check it, or if it's too confusing, then unpause the video and I will be doing it with you. So try it by yourself first. Okay, here we go together. Mrs. Onusko made 60 cookies for a bake sale. She sold 2/3 of them and gave 3/4 of the remaining cookies to the students working at the sale. How many cookies did she have left? So this is what I'm looking for. How many cookies she had left. This is a word problem, so we're going to need to write a sentence at the end. So I'm going to show you how to solve this 2 ways. One is with the tape diagram, and one is mathematically with a multiplication sentence. So first, I'm going to draw the tape diagram just to fill in the missing information. This keeps getting blurry, so I'm going to move this a second. Okay, so here's my tape diagram, and I know that the total of this entire thing is 60. We have 60 cookies in all. Now I'm going to divide it into this first fraction because it says she sold 2/3 of them. So I'm going to divide it in 2/3 and shade 2 of them. So this is a multi-step problem, and this is the first thing we need to find. Because we can't find 3/4 of the remaining cookies until we find what this number is. So now I'm going to move to the multiplication sentence. So I'm going to do 2/3 of 60. And you guys know that of means multiplication. So it's basically like saying 2 times 60, and then 3 times, I can put a 1 on the bottom. Okay, let's solve straight across. So 60 times 2 is 120. 3 times 1 is 3. Okay, now this is division. 120 divided by 3. You can do that in your head, or if it's too hard, then you flip it like a division problem and solve. 3 goes into 12 4 times, and I'm going to have no remainder. Put my 0 up. I just solved the first part of the problem, 40. So we know that this question mark is 40. So that means 2/3 of the cookies is 40. Does that make sense? Yes, to me it does. That would mean if we split this in half, what's half of 40? That's right, 20. So that means this is 20, this is 20, and this is 20. So we actually already can solve the second part of the problem because we know that the missing number is 20. So over here it says, she sold 2/3 of them, so she sold 40 and gave 3/4 of the remaining cookies to students. So that means she gave 3/4 of these to students. So what's going to be our next problem? That's right, 3/4 of 20. Okay, let's solve it. Of means multiplication. Put my 1 on the bottom. Here we go. 3 times 20 is 60. 4 times 1 is 4. If you can't do that in your head, write it like a division problem and solve. And my quotient is 15. That goes in evenly. Okay, so now we just found 3/4 of 20? The answer is 15. Now going back to our original problem, it says, how many cookies did she have left? Can you figure that out in your head? She had 60. She sold 40. And then she gave away 15. How many are left? That's right, 5. 5 is the magic number. If you're like, how did I get that? I did 60 minus 40. That's 20, which we already knew because 20 is right here. And then 20 minus 15 that she just gave to students equals 5. She has 5 cookies left. So the last thing we need to do to finish this problem is just write it in a sentence because this is a word problem. So I'm going to say she had 5 cookies left or remaining. And that is my final answer. Okay, so this was a multi-step multiplication of fraction problem using a tape diagram. So you're going to be completing more word problems with groups. Use this example that we did together to help you solve the other ones that we're going to do. Great job.